Right now, we're about to get into a very important conversation, and this important conversation has to do about taxes. Should we be paying taxes? And in fact, everything we need to know about taxes. If you have any question, feel free to send in your questions to the WhatsApp number on your screen, and do not forget to use the hashtag BreakfastDaily on Facebook or X, which is formerly Twitter. Now in the studio with me is Justice Yajaime, right?
Yes,
Chief Revenue Officer at the Customs Technical Service Bureau. Good morning, sir.
good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
How's everything? You are welcome to the show.
Thank you, madam.
All right, so let's get into it. Taxes. Can you throw more light on, this tax education month, since you're using this month to educate people on taxes?
Yes, so GRA as an institution could collect taxes for the run of the country, payment of salary, developmental projects. At least this year we have decided that previously we've been doing the tax education, but this year we have broadened it. I think we have not been here before. That's why we are here today.
Yes, you haven't actually.
So we have decided that we'll broaden it so that everybody hears us. That is why I'm here. So for us, it's very important for individuals who do businesses, who sell things, who provide services, who import things through customs, the borders, the ports. They should pay their taxes. If you have anything you are importing, we'll just urge you and then advise that you don't go through unapproved route,
Right.
because there are consequences. For instance, even if you are not caught by customs, maybe you can be shot by somebody, you can be maimed, you can be harmed. So don't just think that the borders are porous, so you can just go through and get to them. But if customs, the task force gets the person who smuggles goods or vehicles, it is arrested and there's a penalty to it. So there are always consequences when you are doing the wrong thing. For those who have not registered to pay their taxes to the domestic tax, we urge them to go online. It's not easier. It's online. You go online, you try to register. If you don't get it right, don't worry. Just go to any GRA nearby, any office nearby. Makwala, you go to Sunyani, Takrad, everywhere GRA is there. You can just walk in and then the officials will be ready to explain things to you for you to get it right so that you are able to file and pay your taxes.
All right, so let's talk about why it's important to pay taxes. So
Yes.
why is it important to pay taxes, and how do these taxes actually help in contributing to the betterment of the country?
Yes, for us, GRA, we implemented the law made through the government, that's cabinet, through to parliament, then it gets to us. So for all the tax handles that we collect, it goes into the consolidated fund. And then when it goes into the consolidated fund, it is then appropriated the way the government wants. So these are the funds they use to pay salaries of workers, public sector workers, developmental projects such as hospitals, schools are built, roads are constructed. All these, the funds are used for all these projects, which we all benefit from as Ghanaians. So we shouldn't feel that maybe the money is paid to government so you don't get any direct benefit. We get direct benefit because when the roads are bad and we are driving on them, we feel it.
Yeah.
The potholes are all over. So when we pay the taxes, the government will be able to use this money to do things, and then it will better our lives.
Right. So earlier on, you talked about, when things coming through the port or borders and all that. So with you, like, let's say someone gets something from abroad, how do you actually enumerate, or how do you decide what this person should pay in terms of taxes?
So usually when you have goods coming from, you are importing, you have a bill of lading if you do the shipment through the shipping line, or if it's through the airport, that's you have your airway bill.
Yeah, airway bills.
And then for those who usually do the commercial transactions, they usually have a parking list. So this parking list, your invoice, bill of lading, is usually given to your agent. You have to necessarily use the service of an agent. Unless you are a self-declarant. In customs, the law allows for certain companies to be registered, big companies to be registered as self-declarant. It means that when they have their goods in the port, they are able to clear it on their own. But for individuals like you and I, we cannot do that, because for tracing somebody after the goods have gone, customs, when you clear the goods, that's not the end of the story. The post-clearance audit is allowed to follow up if they find anything wrong with the transaction. So will they be able to find you as an individual is difficult, because our addresses are difficult to trace. So what we usually do is for you to use the services of an agent,
Right.
a freight forwarder. So he will process this through the ICOMS. Now we use ICOMS. Through ICOMS, it will come to Customs Technical Services Bureau to be valued, and then when approved, he will go and pay.
Yes.
Either you pay or he pays on your behalf, because you are allowed to pay at any bank. Now, you can pay through Momo, you can pay through using the banking transaction, just walk in and then give them the tax bill, they will process it. So these are the processes you go through to get your goods out of the port or the airport. You have to use the services of an agent.
Right.
And you have to get your documentation right. Because usually people say we delay their transactions. It's not coming from us. Because, for instance, if you bring an item and you don't give us a dimension, you don't expect us to know.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So you have to be accurate when you are giving the information.
Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
But most of the times, there have been issues of, where these taxes are actually more, like, you have to pay more taxes than what you bought. Let's say I bought something for 1,000 Ghana. That means sometimes when they come to you, the person has to pay 2,000 Ghana. How does it work?
Okay, this is the way it works. Usually when you bring your invoice, and it goes, or it's a new vehicle, usually the used ones, we don't use invoices. Used vehicles, we don't use invoices. But for all goods, we expect that you have an invoice.
Right.
And it should be a genuine invoice.
Yeah.
So we take this value on the invoice. If we disagree with you, it will be indicated in the system that we disagree with your value, because usually sometimes if you look at some of the values that they submit, they don't add up. Yes. For instance, you have an invoice. The invoice has no signature.
Right.
Do you take it as authentic? Or maybe we do addition on the invoice. Maybe you have a price list on the invoice. We add up. And maybe you say it's 2,000 and we find out that it's 3,000 on the bill. Is it authentic? You understand? So there are things we see that we can determine that what you are giving at is not right.
Right.
You understand? So the law gives us, there are 6 methods that we can go through to value your goods.
Right.
So the law gives us, and you go from the transaction value, which is your value you brought. You say you are paid $1 for it. So that is your transaction value. So we either agree with you or disagree with you, and then you have the option to apply, to appeal in the system, and you can even go to the commissioner. If you appeal and then we disagree with you, you can still appeal and go to the commissioner. So when this is done, and then we accept your value, our tax base is CIF.
Yeah.
Cost, insurance, and freight. It means that you should have paid insurance on your cargo.
And then
you should have paid freight on it.
Yeah.
So we add this 3, and then we use the current exchange rate from the Bank of Ghana and convert it into Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Before we exact import duty, VAT, NHIL, the GET fund, we are going to, yes, all the other taxes.
Yeah, then when
so
you
about
add
18 of the taxes. So calculate all of them, add them together, and then we get a total tax.
Right.
So for us, we just implement the law as it is.
As it is, yeah.
So as to whether it's more
higher than what you bought sometimes,
we just go by
you.
the law.
Yeah.
The law says we should do A, B, C, and we just go exactly through.
All right,
that.
so but can you explain the benefits of, say, filing tax returns and consequences of not doing that?
Yes. So for that is for the domestic tax. So for any business entity that is providing service, producing something, yes, you are supposed to file your taxes. And then when you file your taxes, they will cross it's self-assessment you do. You say you are sold A, B, C, D, and this is how much it costs. You will file it online. Then they will try to, the domestic tax, an official of the domestic tax will
Yeah.
go through and check whether your self-assessment is right or wrong. If they disagree, they will let you know. It's not something we impose. It is between whoever files the tax and then the GRA. So they will go through, and when everything is settled and you agree on the amount to pay, that is what is done.
Right.
Do you understand? But for those who don't file, there is currently upfront tax. That's upfront VAT. That there's, when you import things, we get you to go and file. Because you are supposed to file your tax. And then you don't do it. So there are consequences for not doing so.
Not doing it.
You understand? So people should know that if you don't file your tax, GRA will one day, when you import things, one day will get you.
Yeah.
Because the customs system and then the domestic tax is linked. You understand?
Yeah, so you have all the info.
Yes, we have the information. So if you don't file and then you import things, we'll get you to go and file. In some cases, they will go around the task force. There's a task force that will go around and check whether you have filed your tax, whether the VAT invoice you issue is a fake one, is a genuine one. Yes, so there are always consequences. So in order to not to inconvenience service providers, people who sell things in the market, please, you always do make an effort to go and then you file your tax.
Right.
And then we'll get the needed revenue for it.
All right, so moving away from consequences, let's talk about rights. What rights do taxpayers actually have, especially when dealing with the GRA?
Yes, when you are dealing with the GRA, you know that when you come to GRA, for instance, you come to official, he's supposed to treat you nicely. He's supposed to be courteous. He's supposed to ensure that what you are supposed to pay is what you are paying. You are not supposed to pay more than what you are expected to pay, but you are supposed to pay exact amount. It shouldn't be below, it shouldn't be above. So, and then for taxpayers, you have the right to appeal. If you disagree with any decision of GRA, for GRA, you have an option to appeal in the system. When you appeal and we disagree with you, it comes to us. Somebody else, the one who did the work initially is not the same person who is going to
the work.
Yes, the appeal will go to a different section.
So there's a possibility that they might.
Yes, you will agree with you, looking at it, maybe you ask for further documentation, if you're able to provide further information, and then it is shown that what you put in is the right thing, he will accept it.
Right.
If he disagrees, he will let you know.
Right.
But if you have genuine reason and he disagrees, you can petition on the commissioners.
Okay.
Yes.
So one of the problems right now is that sometimes people complain that the taxes have become a bit cumbersome, a bit too much. So what are the available tax reliefs and, let's say, allowable deductions that the individual taxpayers can actually get, and how do they apply from it?
Yes, for GRA, when you file your taxes, it gets to GRA. There's an option where you can apply as well for tax reliefs. Let's say you have an aged, for instance, if I have an old madam taking care of, or an older person, you can apply for relief and you'll be given.
Okay.
Yes, if you have children who are in school, and you file your taxes.
And say, oh,
yes,
yeah, I have kids.
Yes, yes, you can apply. If you file and properly file, you can apply for the release as well, and then you will be given.
Right,
yes.
right. So how can businesses actually ensure voluntary compliance with tax payments, and also what are the modes of payments?
Yes, so for businesses, that is why GRA has made it so friendly. You go online, you don't need to walk to a GRA office before you can do it. You go online in the comfort of your office, you log in, and then you are able to file your taxes. If it is customs, you get your agent, you deliver your documents, and then the agent will process it online. They don't need to come to head office, drive from Tema to head office before they get the work done. No, this time most of the things are online. So the business environment has made friendly.
Yeah, made it
you
easier.
can just go inside and file. And the payment too is so easy. You can pay via Momo. If you have your relationship manager in the bank, just send a tax bill. the person needs only the tax bill because we operate a single window. And with the single window system, all the entities that are concerned with the transaction are online. You have the ministry, you have Ghana Standards Authority, Food and Drugs Board, you have all the ministry, government agencies, they are all online. So if you need to do anything, it has to be done online. Assuming it's an exemption, and then it goes to Ministry of Finance, they will have to process it online. You don't carry document to customs or to domestic tax.
Right.
All these are done online.
Right.
Yes,
right,
so
right.
it's so easy now to work with GRA because everything is online. If you can't do it yourself, you can get your son or any employee you trust to go online and then process the transaction for you.
Right,
Yes.
right. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, any final words to the public?
Yes, so for the public, we are encouraging them to go online. If it's customs, when you are bringing your goods, don't be scared that customs will let you overpay. We don't overcharge. We don't do that because we go according to what is laid down in the law. So don't go through an approval route. If you are caught, there are consequences. If it's domestic tax, go and file, pay your taxes. There are reliefs you enjoy when you file your taxes so that you are not caught up, the shop is locked up, or maybe they come and you say they are harassing. No, you do genuine things. Don't do fake. Businesses should not issue fake invoices, fake VAT invoices, and they will be caught.
yeah.
Yes, so we are just asking that they do the right thing. If you have any concerns and then you want them addressed, you can walk to any GRA office. If it's customs, just go to any customs office. If it's domestic tax, go to any domestic tax offices. And then the officials will explain to you how you should go about it. Yes, so that is my message for taxpayers.
All right, thank you
Yes.
so much, sir.
Thank you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking to Justice Yajaime,
Yes.
who is the Chief Revenue Officer at Customs Technical Service Bureau, and he's been talking to us on the importance of paying our taxes and how to go about it.